guys, Skapular here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll finally be taking a look at the long-awaited Mythic Legion's Rising Sun's Skapular the Cryptbreaker version 2, along with his trusty steed, Umbra, the Black Unicorn. This, of course, brought to us by the fine folks over at Horsemen Studios, who, and yes, I'm going to address the rather red-colored elephant in the room and say that the fine folks over at Horsemen Studios were victims of some controversy this past week because of their legendary warrior figure that will be available at ZoloCon this weekend, because a couple head sculpts, if you squinted and are maybe visually impaired, looked like Red Sonja. Last I checked, the Red Sonja copyright holders had a copyright on the Red Sonja character, not female gingers in general. So does this mean Hasbro can't ever give us another Marvel Legends Angela because she's a half-naked warrior woman with red hair? I don't know. All I know is that copyright is stupid, licensing is stupid, and the Red Sonja people are pretty freaking stupid and kinda, I don't know, puts a bad taste in my mouth as far as purchasing anything Red Sonja goes. So I guess we'll see what the future holds for that, because not for nothing, doesn't Skapular look like the skeleton guy from Dungeons and Dragons, and yet the Four Horsemen were not able to put this guy out once, not twice, but 3 frickin' times? This one being the best of the 3. I rest my case, suckers. So, with that being said, drama and BS aside, we got an awesome figure to take a look at, and a ton of accessories to boot. So why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review. Take a look-see at those accessories, starting off with Skapular himself. A shout out to Richard Jones from the Euro Legions podcast, because that is the only voice Skapular has in my headcanon. But he's got a pair of fists. He can punch you right in the kisser. We're thinking a figure that don't look nothing like Red Sonja's Red Sonja. That's always fun. We also get a pair of grip hands with the inappropriate hinge for holding weapons, but I guess if you're going to hold the spear with 2 hands, those might come in handy. Hello. We also get a pair of kind of expressive hands, or open grip hands. We get a pair of relaxed hands, or wide open hands. We also get a couple pairs of gloved hands. We get a pair of grip hands that use the glove sculpt we're used to seeing. Which hinge do these have? It looks like they have the wrong hinge for holding weapons on these, which is weird because they have these with the appropriate hinge, but they never seem to give you those. So that is rather interesting. And then we also have some relaxed hands that are gloved as well. That said, we also get this piece. I don't know what this is. I'm going to have to watch another review, figure out what exactly this is, because I don't know. It looks like some kind of adapter, but I'm not going to say what it is until I know what it is. So stay tuned for that, I guess, in a future review. Said we do get the metal mask, so we can turn Skapular into the, is it Ymir? Or Ymir? I forget, but it's his disguise when he wears this robe. Get a hold of it. We got this robe here. It has a Velcro on the back. The sleeves are wired. Or I should say the cuffs of the sleeves are wired. And then the bottom is fully wired. Be careful the wires don't stick yet. It doesn't look like I have any exposed wires on my copy, but I haven't really taken a good look at it, so don't quote me on that. But I will say, other than one instance so far, soft goods haven't exactly given me problems with this wave, so that's good. You guys know how I feel about 4 Horsemen soft goods sometimes. That said, we get this really nice belt. This is a legit leather belt. And then we also get this sash piece, which does have some Velcro on it. So that's nice, but I'm never going to use those. That said, we of course get the spear, the aforementioned spear, which you can break apart into 2 sections, technically 3. You can take this part off too. And what you can do is you can take this little back adapter piece. You can put one end here, one end there, and then top it off with his shield, which I think this piece is separate, but I can't get it to move like at all, so kind of SOL as far as that goes. But we do get Skapular shield. It's just a simple circular shield. I think oh, what the heck's his name? The guy everyone wanted forever there. Otho version 2. And part of his spear rolled away. Otho version 2 came with the same shield. There we go. You could put this there. Put this like this. And this like this. And this will actually plug into his back like so. Granted, I gotta adjust it, but you get the idea. He can carry this stuff on his back, which is pretty cool. Almost reminds me of G.I. Joe Classified a bit. Now the adapter piece wants to pop out. I had to heat the crap out of him to get that back adapter in there. It did not want to go in there before. Now it wants to come out. I don't think so, Tim. But setting that aside, we do also get a couple of daggers. One of which comes on him in the package and actually has some tape around it to keep it from coming off. And I am happy to report no residue on the dagger, so that's nice. This dagger come out of the little sheath there and can go on the loop on his belt. And then we have some little trinkets you can hang off his belt. We got this little, I don't know what this is, but we also have some little bags, like some coin bags. You can give him those as well. And as far as Skapular goes, that's it, other than these two, I want to say these are darts on his chest that you can remove, but because they're so snug in there, I didn't want to do that. Same with his blow dart gun, which actually has some pretty nice detail. It's got like the head of a snake or a dragon on it. And why a skeleton has a blowgun, you might ask? I don't know! But he's got one. Then here's that other sheath hanging off his belt. I actually missed a piece. Hopefully it's just sitting over here somewhere. There it is. Got an alternate cowl for the Emir look. So you could swap that on instead of using this. But putting that aside, as far as Umbra's accessories go, you do get an alternate mane and tail without the braids and the cool spikes. Why you would want that, I don't know. He's got the toupee on him currently. You can't see it because his head's all the way up here. But speaking of head, he does come with an alternate head, which is just a black regular horse head. And I'm curious if this would actually work with the Headless Horseman's horse, because a lot of people didn't care for the Aethon head on that horse, so maybe you could swap this out and use this instead. I don't think it has a perfect match, but it is at least black, so you could paint it to match. That said, that is all you get for accessories, which is a heck of a lot, and I mean a lot. But getting Skapular out of the way quick, so we can do a brief overview of Umbra, because he's not the most interesting horse we've gotten in a while. He's got the unicorn horn on his head. It's not a separate piece. I mean, it's glued in probably, but you can't take it out without modification, so I'm not going to futz with that. He does have the little toupee, because this gap was kind of weird, So I just stuck this here because this does look like hair for the most part, with this kind of mohawk thing coming out of it. He's got these, I don't know what these are, hanging off his reins. He's got them hanging here and here, and even off his buttocks a little bit. Of course, we have the sleeping bag, and then he's got a braided tail. And then the rest of the body is just the standard Mythic Legion's horse. So I'm just going to put him off to the side. Articulation is the same as all the horses in this line, so we don't need to focus on that. What we need to focus on is this awesome Skapular figure, which is, yes, one of my favorite figures of the year so far. Sue me. I like the skeleton guys. As far as his articulation goes, though, he does have the disc hinge in the neck. But I might actually swap this out. I can't remember if I said this already or not, but I might swap it out for a skeleton neck peg. I don't know why he doesn't have one, but he doesn't. And I don't know, his head just seems to sit a little high with this neck peg. So not for me, unfortunately. His shoulders can, of course, pop out to the side. I believe he's using the new skeleton upper arms. Not so much the forearms. These are the same forearms we've had on skeletons for a while. Shoulders can, of course, rotate back and forth. You can get a little bit more than 90 out of that elbow with a little rotation. Gauntlet swivel, as well as a swivel hinge wrist. These ones having the up and down hinge. So the correct hinge for holding weapons, which is always nice. I believe he has new pauldrons. These don't look familiar. Almost looks like they got a face or something on there. But popping these up, his torso here, since I took all that junk off him, can pop apart. Okay, cool. I did not expect that to happen so easily. Let me snap this back in. I don't think mine's loose. I think I just had him posed up so dynamic it popped him out. So it seems to be okay. But you can lean it back and forth just fine. He does have a little bit of tilt in there. The hips can, of course, kick out. Back down, forward and back. No thigh cut, but he does have a knee swivel and some of the tightest knees I've ever had on one of these skeleton guys. I think that can go one more back. There you go. Very, very stiff on that joint there. But not so fragile. It's just the boot wants to pop off the socket somewhat. But I won't let it. I will not. I refuse. That said, he does have a swivel in the foot with a hinge, as well as a rocker, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So he is a really awesome figure. He does split apart at the torso there, but I think that's just me messing with it. That's all that is. But very, very cool. I dig him a lot. I'm very happy to finally have this character. I just late to the party on this one. And it's not like me to be missing a skeleton. So to finally have him makes me that much happier. So standing him up here. So we can bring in our two regulars. Brother Mandibolith from Advent of Decay, a member of the faction this guy was previously in, the Congregation of Necronominos, as well as the infamous K11 Spawn, who, as usual, yeah, he pretty much towers over everyone. I'm not going to count the little pointy point on his helmet, because that, my friends, is cheating. But yes, good old Al Simmons, as usual, towers over all. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap this up with some final thoughts. Overall, and not only am I excited to finally be taking a look at the Rising Suns wave, but I'm arguably more excited to finally be adding Skapular, the Cryptbreaker, to my Mythic Legions collection, because I gotta tell ya, it's been a long time coming. I actually tried to obtain the original release of this guy numerous times, but could not bite the bullet, whether it was too expensive, didn't have the money. Either way, I got him now, and boy oh boy am I glad that I waited, because this version blows that original version out of the water. If you want to use it for something like a guard, that's perfectly serviceable, but as far as Skapular the Cryptbreaker as a character goes, this is now and forever going to be my mind's eye view of the character. And not for nothing, his trusty steed, Umbra, is no slouch either, despite the fact he's one of the more basic horses we've gotten in the Life of the Mythic Legions line as of late. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review and are going to stay tuned for more Rising Suns reviews. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.